The meaning of the movie. Author Orpheus for Reading for Minutes, published on the 23rd of April 2021, updated on the 23rd of April 2021. Sometimes it is not enough to make noise or make scary noises to be afraid. In most cases, it is the silence that is the most frightening. Silence director Mike Flanagan understands this very well, which is why he did a great job on his movie. Silence isn't so much scary with scary moments or faces suddenly appearing all over the screen, it's about something else entirely. The scare of this movie lies in its realism and simplicity. What is frightening is that the situation that happened to the main character can happen to anyone. What meaning is hidden in all of this? Let us tell you about it, if you are not afraid. The meaning of the movie title. The silence is a direct reference to the fact that the protagonist is a deaf-mute. She does not hear a single sound, so the fear that the maniac will sneak up from behind only increases. The girl is not able to hear him, so she has to rely only on her own vision. Is she scared because of this? Absolutely. But will this affliction stop her? We do not think so, because the human will is always stronger than any horrors, or not? In general, this is for the viewer to find out. The meaning of the movie. Mike Flanagan is still a fairly young director, but after his work called Oculus, he made famous people talk about himself. That's why he is now, as they say, on a roll. With his work, Silence, he wanted to show that horror does not need loud and scary sounds. Sometimes their absence can be much scarier. Therefore, the plot of his painting will be overflowing with this thought. Maddie, the protagonist, will have to come face to face with a maniac who wants her agonizing death. The woman as a child suffered meningitis, after which she stopped hearing sounds. But she overcame the new conditions of life. Now she is a very famous writer whose career is just beginning. At the moment she is in her house, which is located deep in the forest. Except that her work process is interrupted by a maniac who is watching her from behind her door. The masked man wants to kill her, but a quick death will not satisfy him. He wants a long and agonizing suffering. In the movie, if you think about it, there is no motley or diverse locations. In fact, the entire plot is driven by only 5 characters, and there is almost no dialogue, because our heroine is a deaf-mute. She can't hear anything, so it's pointless to communicate with her. Even the maniac understands this, so one day he sends her a message only with the help of lips, because the girl can read them. He actively uses this feature of the victim for his own purposes. This minimalism and simplicity creates the so-called effect of emptiness, which accompanies the viewer throughout the movie. The title, Silence, is fully justified. Of course, there are a lot of movies about maniacs slowly trying to get their victim, so it is very difficult to add something new to this genre. But the director managed to do it. The fact that the heroine is deaf-mute moves the plot along perfectly and gives the maniac an advantage. He can actually break the wall behind her back, but she won't even notice. And it is rare when the heroine's weakness is shown from the weak side, because, let's say, a blind person can hear sounds, so staying with the killer in the dark, he is sure to become the hunters, and the maniac, the victim. The deaf-mute heroine, on the other hand, has only the negative aspects of her illness, but not the positive ones. This reinforces the effect of helplessness. Flanagan was obviously inspired by old horror movies. You can feel that classic note of quiet horror. This is why there is a lot of violence in the movie, but it is not central. By the end of the movie, of course, the heroine and the maniac will be exhausted both physically and mentally. This will show us how dire the situation was at this point. The fact that the house of the main heroine is not an impregnable fortress deserves special attention. It can easily be destroyed, and to penetrate into it, it is easier than easy. This does not give her a chance to sit back in safety. That is why the feeling of helplessness is so strong. The movie is not too long, but it is so gripping that even after watching it you are scared to be in a similar situation. The director knows how to create truly scary situations. Their realism and the possibility that they will happen in our lives makes our heart beat frantically in fear for a long time after watching. Director, bravo, the movie turned out to be really scary, not just scary like most modern horror. Admin.